I'm going to do the daily tarot reading, and this is for the collective, so this is also timeless, so this is for whoever feels drawn to hear this message. Also, this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not. Then it was meant for someone else. All right, so let's see. Let's get some tarot. I'm kind of feeling like let's do a crystal. Let's do a crystal card. See what crystal card we get for an overall energy. I usually like to start the readings with sort of an overall energy for the reading. Kind of feeling this one here. All right, and this is green calcite. Fertility, abundance, growth. Nature is calling. Green calcite attracts abundance, surrounding you in a forest of clarity, positivity, and heightened awareness, akin to the great outdoors. Green calcite transmutes stagnant old beliefs into the courage to explore outside your comfort zone, which I feel is really important for growth. As with nature, there is beauty in the imperfect, and growth occurs only when we allow ourselves the room to expand, right? Being open to the changes. Green calcite opens the heart and third eye chakras, helping you to let go of past resentments and planting seeds for your growth and expansion. Cancer, Venus, right? Being open to those opportunities. I like that. To expanding and growing and learning. All right. Nine of Swords, King of Swords, Ace of Swords, Nine of Wands, the Hangman, Ten of Swords, Six of Wands, Ace of Cups, and Page of Pentacles for overall energy. All right. So for overall energies, we have the Page of Pentacles, and that could be that young energy, that young spirit, that kind of playfulness. It also can represent those good feelings, right? Feeling good, feeling positive, feeling like we can accomplish things, being in a good mood, right? Heading towards good things, making good things happen. Recognizing that if we're feeling frustrated with something, how do we pull ourselves out of that, right? Are we worrying about things that we don't need to worry about? Is it something that we can't control and that it's just going to happen, that it's something that we can't control, but yet we're stressing about it, right? And that's giving us anxiety, that's giving us stress, that's causing us to be in a negative space. And it's like, well, is this stressing and worrying about it going to help the situation, or is it just going to hurt the situation? Is it going to make it worse? Is it going to put me in a bad frame of mind, right? Is it going to put me in a bad frame of mind that if I'm worrying about this, if I'm stressing about it, if I'm carrying this energy around me, is it going to affect me, things all around me in a negative way? Kind of being aware of that, or what are those things that I can do? And I feel like this card goes into that card, where it's like, what are those things that I can do to turn that around, right? To get past it, to move past it, to not carry it. Kind of, if it's just even just looking at it, just saying, do I really need to be in this energy? Do I need to hang on to this energy? Do I need to be in this energy? Like kind of recognizing, okay, this is starting to drag me down. This is starting to make me angry. It's starting to make me frustrated, and everything's happening, right? Because it's almost like once you get into that irritated, angry, stressful, worrying energy, it's like all of a sudden all of these things start happening that irritate you even more, that frustrate you even more, that worry you even more. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm in this energy and I'm pulling all of this in. I need to change this around. I need to switch that, right? I need to change it so that it's positive things coming in for me. And Nine of Wands, hanging in there and realizing that this may take some time for you to work through, for you to figure out those things, right? And for you to let go of it. But it's exhausting stressing and worrying about things all the time. It's exhausting always, you know, having all of these things piled on top and saying, oh, there's a gazillion things that I need to do, and all of these things swirling in your head. It's exhausting having to go through that. All right, for future energies, it's the Hangman, Ten of Swords, Six of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. I feel like it's looking at things from a different perspective, right? Taking that step back and saying, how can I change this? How can I not be in this Nine of Swords energy? How can I not be worrying about things? How can I change it so that if I hear something that's upsetting for me, or something that frustrates me, or something that starts putting me in this Nine of Swords energy, how can I change that? How can I turn that around? How can I walk away from that? How can I leave that, right? What are those things that I can let go of? Because he has those coins there that are just dropping, right? That are falling out, but he's not worried about it. He's like, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go because I can't change it. There's nothing I can do about it now. Let me focus on other things. Let me let that go, right? The Ten of Swords, letting it go. Six of Wands, success and victory. Feeling positive, feeling good, right? Rising above the situation. Rising above the situation so that you feel emotionally better. Like your cup feels like it is overflowing with positive energy, that it is overflowing with good things, that you are keeping an eye on, you are focusing on the positive things, right? Yes, there are negative things that happen in our life. Yes, there are frustrations. I had one today that was very frustrating, and I could definitely see myself going into that Nine of Swords, but I'm like, nope, I don't. I see myself going there, and I need to pull myself out of that because I don't want it to ruin the whole entire day, because there's nothing that I can do right now to fix that situation, and that I need to not go in that energy and have it ruin my whole day. Like, I'm not going to do that. So I pulled myself out of it and I started to refocus, right? I did the Hangman, pulled myself out of it, looked at things from a different perspective. Do I want to ruin this whole entire day and being angry and frustrated and worried and stressed? No, I don't. So what are those things that I can do, those tools that I have to pull myself out of it, right? Pull myself out of it and to move forward. So I feel like that's this reading too. All right, so let's get some clarifiers. Yeah. Sometimes we don't even realize that we go into that, but I feel like it's a lot about recognizing those patterns that we do, and kind of, I feel like it's recognizing, okay, I'm starting to go into the Nine of Swords. All right, yeah, I don't want to go there, right? What are those things that I can do to get out of it? Yes, like I said before, things are going to happen that are going to frustrate you and irritate you, and sometimes you just have to be in that energy for a little bit. You know, give yourself some time to work through it, and then say, okay, I'm moving on from this. Hangman, again, I love it, right? Seeing things from a different perspective, seeing things differently, taking time out, take a step back and saying, okay, I'm starting to go down to that Nine of Swords energy. Love it. Awakening, renewal, revival, seeing those patterns that you do to yourself to catch yourself, right? Before you head into that Nine of Swords. The Sun card, love it, right? Focusing on the positive, focusing on those positive things. You know, do I really want to ruin the whole entire day being angry and irritated and possibly cause some disagreements with people that are around me because I'm irritated at this thing, but it has nothing to do with those people, and so causing even more problems and piling that up? No, I don't, not really. All right, Nine of Wands again. This is exhausting. This is stuff you have to hang in there, and if you want that change, it can be frustrating, and it does take time, but I feel that it turns into this Ten of Swords where you're able to release that, right? You're able to not be in that Nine of Swords as long. Sometimes maybe it was you were in the Nine of Swords for a week, so then you get that down to a few days, or you get that down to one day or a few hours or a few minutes, right? And it's something that you have to work on and realize, and then move forward from that. The Moon card, sometimes it's hard to see the benefits from that because you're in it right now, and you're like, well, this is just a waste of time, this is right, but then you're still kind of staying in that Nine of Swords, and you have to be open to be able to see and to want to make these changes. You have to be open to looking at things from a different perspective, to embrace this Hangman. We have two hangmans here. You have to be open to that. And sometimes it's hard to see what the benefits are. But then once you start doing that, you're like, oh, wow, yeah, it feels so much better that I'm not angry for a whole entire week and I'm making everyone else around me irritated with me. It feels a lot better. That it feels a lot better that it's okay. It's 20 minutes of me being irritated and frustrated, and then I start, I'm able to leave that and move forward and be in an emotionally better place, right? Do you want to have more of the time where you're in the Nine of Swords, or do you want to have more of the time where you're looking at your cup, your emotions as being more full, more satisfying, enjoying more of the positive moments of life, being able to focus on those positive things? Sometimes there's days where we're just feeling, and I have those days too, where it's like, okay, this whole entire day I'm just going to be like crabby. I'm going to be irritated, and I give a warning to people. I'm just going to let you know I'm in a bad mood today. So if I say anything that upsets you, I'm apologizing for that ahead of time. And sometimes, like, that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be, all constantly in the positive. Would that be nice? Absolutely. But it's okay to realize that we're going to have those days where we are in this Nine of Swords, or we're just going to feel sad. Some days we just, have those days where it's just like you just feel like it's a sad day, or it's just a frustrated day, or a down day, and that's okay, right? And to work through that and then say, okay, tomorrow's a new day, so tomorrow, I don't want to spend the whole entire week on this, and I need to find those tools and those things for me to move on from this. But it's okay to have those days where you have those frustrating days. We have things that happen to us that just kind of put us in that energy, and that's okay. But I just feel like it's so important to make sure that we don't stay in that energy, right? Because that can be more harmful. Because then it can almost be like you get to the point where you're just like this hermit, and you don't even want to go out. You just want to stay in your home, and you don't want to do anything. You don't want to see anybody, and it can really start to put you in a darker place. And I know that because I've done that. There's been days, a few years ago, where it was like I didn't want to go anywhere, and I didn't want to do anything, and it was like the longer that I stayed in my apartment, the more I didn't want to go out, and I had to force myself to at least go to the grocery store and go do something, right? Because it was almost like I was getting swept into that energy, and it was just like that's where I wanted to stay, was this Nine of Swords. I wanted to stay in bed. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to get dressed, Everything's a chore. It's like, I don't want to go out. I don't want to do anything. And it starts to feed on itself. So it's, yes, you can take those times to do that, but then you also have to realize that you have to pull yourself out of that. And that can be a hard thing to do, especially when you're in that energy. But it's trying to be aware of that and say, okay, yeah, I got to get myself out. Like, just go take a shower and go to the grocery store. And that helped, right? Because it was a change, got me out of my apartment, got me out there, got me around people, got me outside, and that helped a lot. And that's part of the reason why I have my horse, is because that forces me to get outside, right? That forces me to get out of the apartment and to get out of the usual routine and get out to the barn, and that really helps me to feel better, to clear my brain, to clear my mind. If I don't go out to see my horse, say it's been 3 or 4 days, I can feel that heaviness come back in, and I can feel that, I don't really need to, and I'll just stay here, and like, no, that's not a good thing, and I know that. So it's like, okay, yeah, get your butt out to the barn. Like, whether you do something out there with him or not, it doesn't really matter. At least drive yourself out there, get out there, hang out, and then I feel 1,000% better. So that's something to be very aware of. We have the Seven of Pentacles, getting back to those things that you like to do, right? Getting back into things, getting back into the positive. All right, so let's close out with an animal oracle. All right, Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. And I feel like that means that it will provide you those things, and it's being able to be in that hangman energy, to be able to step back and look at those things, it'll provide you those kind of clues, it'll provide you those hints, it'll provide you those signs. It's not going to be something where someone is going to drop a piece of paper and say, okay, here it is. It's those little things, it's those green lights to work, it's that sunny day, it's that those positive things that happen around you, that being open and being able to see those things, right? It could just be this tarot message. This could be a sign for you that says, hey, don't get stuck in the Nine of Swords energy, that it's okay to be there for a bit if you have to, but that to see that you have to pull yourself out of that. So that could be a sign, just being open to all of those things. It could be just finding a quarter on the ground, right? And be like, oh, look, I found some money on the ground, right? You know, that's a positive sign. Or it could just be like a butterfly that maybe lands on your car, where you're going out to your car and there's a butterfly on there, or there's a butterfly that's flying around you, or you see a flower that makes you, you know, flower growing that makes you smile. Those are signs, you know, for you to be happy and to kind of refocus on the positive. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.